All right, welcome back, YouTube. We're back with another analysis of one of Moes games, playing on the Horimiya account. This one is a lot higher rated in general than the one before. His teammate is Bahamut, Fiesta picker, apparently, and we mega minded into champion, and I'm straight away gonna flame his choices. Sorry, Moes. Um, This game is quite rough, but somehow we managed to pull it back in the late game. But I'll mostly focus on the early game and potentially mid-game decision making that made us fall behind, because ideally we really want to avoid falling majorly behind like this. Just because, well, the games are very hard to win from behind. Alright, so we mega minded into champion. And straight away, we are going for this role, and I would probably play this differently. My role choice would probably start something like this, because in my opinion, the best option we have is to put, especially with a Fiesta teammate, is to start with a big pirate and then put champion on that guy and abuse him with sea dragons. This gives us a very solid early game. It gives us a ton of pressure points around 5, 6, 7, 8, which we can really abuse with our Fiesta teammate. It's also very good at covering. And with champion, we're not as vulnerable on wave 2 against the snail or something. And I'm gonna spoil that Moes went for like something like this, going for a champion Firelord. Sure, champion on a tier 6 is kind of nice, but this will always leave us quite weak on wave 7. We end up having to play around our weak waves quite a lot, whereas I think the other role is just more stable. If I start like this, I kind of want maybe these units and the pull spot, or you can also consider doing this. Something around those lines is what I would pick. I would definitely pick the Seedling, I would definitely pick the Pirate and the Sea Dragon, and then do something like this and yeah, go for a champion on this guy. And then I would start with the same build, but I would instantly champion the third column small pirate and then be kind of safe. Because now our teammate is starting with Crab Warlock, expecting to be snailed. I guess he's picking Fiesta quite often, because else he would be starting Windhawk. But he gets King up. We don't know what Turnix Theos was thinking, or if he was thinking at all. Maybe it's just autopilot. But anyway, he doesn't leak. It's not ideal, but it's not horrendous either. So he pushes to 6 workers. Or 5 workers, adds this guy and 6 workers after the wave. Fine choice, I would have done the same with Fiesta, but obviously we do not add because we're champion and we want to get out the Fire Lord, so we stay 4 workers and we leak to the snail. And this is, yeah, we already take king damage, we are lower push than the option I suggested. And this is really why I would have preferred to go for the different choice. Not that in general it's always weaker to go Fire Lord with champion over our option, but really I think in this specific case it would have been much better to go for the um, big pirate skeleton, whatever it's called, man. I can't remember shit. Anyway, so our teammate is saving 1-2, going large on wave 3. We have income so far. Totally fine choice. Teammate leaks here. We cover with our champion Firelord, push to 7 workers. Correct choice. And now, honestly, I think we should save on wave 4. And why do I think that? Our teammate has shown that he really wants to play for pressure. And this casket ranger build is naturally weak on 5 and on wave 6, and we are weak on 7, so we really want to apply some pressure so they cannot just go 3 or 4 into 7 on us. Whether it's by leaking them on 5, by leaking them on 6, by skipping to income there. We have a lot of choices, but we really want to make sure that they feel pressured. And in this case, we sent one snail, and I don't know if we really needed this for whatever threshold for whatever unit we wanted to build. But I would really, really strongly suggest not sending the snail. Teammate is leaking small and he's saving, so there's a ton of pressure on Burger Dragon, who's also weak on 5. So really, we can aim to do some king damage here, and unfortunately, we don't get any king damage, or, well, we don't get our guy on this wave, because we can only send 100. And we've added the pole spot here, but really we have a champion Firelord. What are we worried about on wave 5? Like, we could easily push to 10, 11 workers, put one buckler in the split, and be fine. Like, we're aiming, our teammate is sending a post-income mole, we are really committing to do king damage here, and for this play to be good, we both have to commit. Now, I don't know if Red communicated what he was doing or not, so of course, if he didn't, then it's very, very hard for us to follow. But just to be clear, I think even even if we don't push harder, this snail is usually bad. And I guess you can see, I mean, this is always after the wave, right? So this snail, he didn't push any workers, so he gets to this amount of value every time. And I want to show what happens. So, okay, this is a different build, different game state. But we sent Brute Double Snail, which is probably correct, given that we didn't have 80 pre-income, I assume. Else a Hermit might be a good choice. But this is a quite comfortable hold, because 520 value is a lot, Atom is good, Daphne always tanks the boss with his positioning. Daphne is also kind of decent against the Brute. So he's just easy holding, right? And he's even probably covering like 1 or 2 creeps in the mid. But assume that we didn't do the snail on wave 4. So we can really heavily commit with double brute here. I think 140 is even possible if we really commit with our Firelord, which is what we want to do, right? We want to use the champion power spike on the Firelord, so really play around its strong waves. Anyway, we didn't, maybe because of the Fiesta teammate, we wanted to play a bit safer, but double brute is such a crazy power spike on wave 5 that instead of full holding, he's leaking 2 brutes. Now, leaking 2 brutes in a vacuum is like not amazing for us or anything. It's probably giving him a slight advantage in terms of economy, but if we see that yellow leaked 75%, these 2 brutes will deal easily 10-15% more damage on the king, and with the pillage gold, this is really, really good for us. So I would have much preferred skip here and really slam dunk pressure onto here. And then I don't really like the resend here either, because again, teammate has only bad units for wave 7. We have bad units for wave 7. Sure, yellow is kind of playing for bounty hunters and scaling, so we're not super worried about our lane on wave 7. But our teammate is really going to be in a rough spot. And maybe he can do okayish against 2 brutes, but this is really one of these builds. If red gets a pack leader or 3 brutes, he will really, really struggle on wave 7. And with this 60 Mythium on wave 6, we really enable this to happen. And it does. So he leaks 100%. Of course, he could have probably done something better here as well. But if we don't send the 3 snails here, he can't push to 13 workers. He's gonna be in a worse spot. He's not gonna send 180. Red is gonna do much better here. I don't necessarily think that going full into yellow here is a good choice either, but I mean, this is out of our control. I don't hate the income here, by the way, because we really don't have any pressure to go wave 8, and it gives us some decent ads. So now we're in an okay spot, but we've gone a little bit too heavy on the power mercs with the wave 5 send. without getting king damage, and really teal is in a superb spot to carry this game. And we don't really have power spikes coming up that will allow us to catch up on push or pressure onto him. So game is already very, very hard at this point, which is why I would really suggest, first of all, to play a different opener, but then also if we go Firelord, to really, really abuse the strength and really make sure we get more king damage on wave 5. So they have to be very, very scared for the future that they can die on any wave to a very small league. Alright, so now we start saving. Good choice. Teammate unfortunately leaks 140%. No, not 140%, but 93% to 140 resend because he pushed 3 workers into the 3 brutes and the big leak. Yeah, this is kind of rough, but this is also due to Teal having a very, very good game. And this is something one has to keep in mind, especially in like very, very high elo lobbies. In the early game, 20 Mythium or 1 worker sometimes makes a huge difference because you can hit these thresholds of having the next mercenary, adding 1 more brute, and this can really fuck with people. Now, in this case, it doesn't really matter if it's a Hermit and 2 snails or a Hermit and 3 snails. He's always gonna just giga die. But on this wave, it really matters, and then he feels pressured to take a big risk here. And we saw it on wave 5 as well, where the 100 send is a full hold, but the 120 send is already 2 reasonably full HP brutes going to the king. Right. Again, we start saving. It's the only play we have. They are probably massively on fire already, and we have to farm some shutdowns, and we also have to protect our weak wave on 10. And we do this by going full on wave 9, where they both leak because somehow Teal decides to build a Hades. I mean, I guess his role doesn't have great options. And yeah, Burger Dragon goes for the second Kingpin, but he's countered hard by Brutes. I don't quite understand why Yellow skipped on you. I would have always expected him to just income send you here, and then he would probably hold. But anyway, this is a good play. You're going to try to farm the shutdown. Teammate is pushing. This is the correct play to try to get back into the game. And now they go full on 10, and you only leak the Needler, which is very, very good. Building the Phoenix is absolutely correct. I think a lot of people would try to go for like Trinity Archer, but I think this is just better with Champion. Teammate is holding the full send. You're going income king. This is a very good choice. Now you are behind, right, in net worth, but it's not as bad anymore. So you've like sort of quote unquote recovered the game to a decent amount, and everyone's low HP, so the next send can very much decide the game. I personally with this, right? Oh, before talking about spells, we did reroll on wave 9, I think, because we got saved on. We wanted to have a good solution for wave 10. And we rerolled into... Right, let's try to get your roll, this one. Sorry, I should have prepared this. Pulse Bot, Phoenix, Pirate Skeleton, Buckler Gargoyle, so we have gotten rid of this and this. This is our roll. And then we re-roll it into... Right, let me move these things. Okay, let me... No! Move! Move! Hello! Oh. Right, I should have shuffled. Aha! This is how this works. Right, it's fine. Okay. Great preparation. I am a professional after all. Right. So we reroll into a Harpy, into a Wild Shroom. Where's the Wild Shroom? Here. We reroll into Elite Archer and Infiltrator. Infiltrator. Here. Okay. And okay, this gives us a good solution for wave 10 with the archer, so we definitely want to take this. We don't necessarily need shroom for anything. We definitely don't need infiltrator. We definitely don't need harpy, so we can instantly disregard those. We decided to reroll the gargoyle for shroom. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind this choice. And we have also gotten rid of the pirate skeleton. Yeah, I don't mind this choice. I think this is kind of correct. You can also consider getting rid of the pull spot, but it's kind of fine. I mean, no major choice. I mean, very important to make sure we have the archer. So I very much agree with this. And I also very much agree with positioning the archer here, as this setup is very good. It's especially strong on 9, but it also has a lot of benefits later on, with like upper split pulling the 4 eyes and the phoenix tanking very nicely for the archers DPSing down the left hand side. Very good choice. Okay, so spell is sorcerer, investment, sacrifice, and I would have preferred taking sorcerer as we play an elite archer role, and I think we're already not in the best position economically. Well, I mean, I guess it's fine with the income, but I would have. When you're behind, I don't necessarily love investment. I like investment more when I'm just ahead trying to scale and snowball the game into a winning position. So I would have probably gone for the sorcerer to have a more immediate power spike and play around the power spike. But maybe, I mean, spoiler alert, we're going to long save on them. Maybe the call by red was already to giga long save, and then I can definitely get behind the investment as well. Don't think it makes a huge difference. The sacrifice I wouldn't have taken either. Alright, so we income on wave 11. That is fine, I would say. It's a little bit meh, as Teal is already kind of ahead and we were struggling to leak him. So maybe it would have been better if Red did income into Burger Dragon, but it's pretty close. You can also both income, you can both save. It's not necessarily a mistake or anything. We get income king, teammate gets only income, so we have to play a little bit safer, which we do. And really, I don't know what exactly we were trying to hit at this point. I guess it might have been wave 14. Looking at their builds, it's probably at this point we call to go 14. Then somehow they decide to go income king on 13, a choice that I will not understand. Maybe yellow was scared here because he has kingpins and stuff and mask, but I don't know. I mean, he's also building kind of some units that are good on 14, and Teal has Hades and 2.6k value, so I really don't understand this income king send. If they were at full king, I could very much get behind this, because you will, like, with this scaling and the fed economy and Teal being ahead, having no weak waves, and them being on fire, like with full king, they can probably just income here and never die on any of their upcoming waves. I mean, 14, you're not super scared, you have enough value. 15, you're just a giga chad on Teal. 16, you're a giga chad on Teal, and by that point, um, blue and red already have to send. But with low king HP, I really dislike this because it just gives away so much pressure. Maybe this was also caused by this random income send on 11. So some discoordination on the East team giving us a lot of opportunities now. And I guess with this send, you probably decided we go 16. But the issue is that Hades and especially Iron Maiden with decent tanks on Teal are so fucking good. They are so strong on 16. It's very, very hard to leak. And he's already ahead and he's probably just gonna hold there. So it's really, really hard for you to make a call happen here. Ideally you would want 17, so I probably like your original plan of going 14 into 17 a lot more than what ended up happening. But again, you're massively behind, right? Look at the net worth. it's very, very hard for you to find a winning line. There is no theoretically winning line. You have to make some plays and somehow try to come back that way. Right, so we push a bit and we skip, and we skip 15 as well, just because he's too strong. They are both too strong. And then we go full on 16, and the issue is, as I said, I mean, they take king damage. We hold on blue, very good. Yeah, our teammate has no chance of holding, his build sucks, but unfortunately, teal is holding. Now, I don't know exactly how well he did hold in game. So maybe there was a slightly better send, I don't know. I haven't tested it so much. I've played around with a few sends, and I can definitely tell you that he is not leaking. There's no send that you can come up with 900 Mythium that leaks him. So this was kind of an all-in play, and it nearly worked. I mean, I think it's a fine attempt to make after you're behind. The issue is that red cannot hold, but you kind of had to push harder into teal. So it's a strategically very hard play to make work. And ultimately, you end up getting some shutdown, probably on yellow, get some king damage, but it's not enough. And after this, there is essentially no winning. I mean, there's no winning this game, right? I mean, they can just do whatever the fuck they want. No one is pushing any workers, so everyone wants to long save, which is the correct choice. Teal is even scared of a resend, which would have been a potential angle, but you don't decide to go for it. Maybe that was your theoretically best shot, to just double suicide push for 17, but it wouldn't have worked either. Then you prepare for 18, and then I just don't understand what's happening on the next wave, because, okay, look, yellow is strong on wave 19. I see that for sure. You're not amazing on wave 20, but like, just look at the game state, right? I mean, teal is gonna be plus value here, but which unit of teal is good on wave 19? Yeah, one Hades and the Daphnes. No tank value. There's no way he can hold. Like, Hades and Daphne both need tank value. You have to understand that your build is weak on wave 19. And sure, Burger Dragon is decent on 19, but he's 800 value lower. Is he really going to full hold? And you only have 33% king. So in my opinion, this is a slam dunk send. Red is omega weak here. I almost said shit. On blue, we might even be able to sneak out a hold. But honestly, I mean, yeah, I can't imagine. I honestly don't even think we're holding. But even if we hold, I think with a send, yellow is probably holding, and then the race is just over. There's no way that the West team can ever skip if the East team sends. So I think this is just a major throw. And even if like both teams send and somehow both teams survive, totally fine. Just resend on 20. Teal is gonna hold with his build. It's gonna be Omega fine. Yellow leaks. Blue, we on blue always leak. Doesn't fucking matter. No chance. And Bahamut also not enough tank value. 2 Doomsdays. No way he can hold. So it's just a 100% slam dunk. You have to send on 19 if you're the East team and consider resending 20. There's no way that you can ever justify skipping. There's no situation where skipping wins you the game and sending doesn't. But there are situations where skipping loses you the game, namely this one, where you just both leak and the king dies. Because there's not enough tank value here, and I assume this must have been quite close on Burger Dragon, but it's only 6.4k value. Everything's weak to bears and Mold Hermit. So, and Bahamut is really good at finding the correct send, and this is the correct send. So it's a good play. It's a good play of you two to send here. It's your only chance, but it's also a big throw by them not to send. And you win the game. So I guess you did well in that regard. But yeah, I really think that's kind of a big blunder by them and a steal of a game. And I really think you should you should have played this early game a little bit differently. Um, yeah, I hope it makes sense what I'm saying, because I think this is sort of applicable to other situations as well, where you have a champion role and B, a Fiesta teammate, and you know how they are playing for leagues. Then it's oftentimes good to really join for these things. And in high elo, this is sort of the last point I want to make. Um, you have to remember that builds and everything is like super optimized and super on the edge. So it is always about hitting the thresholds that you need to break them. It's about hitting the double brute on wave 5. It's about hitting the triple brute on wave 7. It's about being able to send a pack leader on wave 8. And you need to A, threaten that you can get to these sends, and B, you need to make sure that if there are weak waves coming up for you or your teammate, that ideally the enemy cannot hit these thresholds. And just as much with the building that you hit the 280 gold for the bank and yada yada, but you're probably used to them. But what you're not, maybe not so used to, is like these sending thresholds that you also have to hit. And I hope this will help you in your future games. It's very good that you didn't give up and you made some very good choices, like around wave 9, wave 10. I don't think going 16 is a bad try either. Maybe 14, 17 would have been good. Full Sui Reset 17 was a play, but going straight 19 is also a fine play, and in this case it worked. So I really think like your mid-game decision making is very, very good. Um, you just need to clean up your early game slightly, and then you'll be very, very golden and you'll hit that legend in no time.